This is Chicago's very own WGN Evening News at 6.
And we continue to follow developments in Nashville, where a woman entered a school, opened fire, killing 3 9-year-old students and 3 adult staff members. The 28-year-old shooter was a former student at the school. She was killed by police. During a search of the suspect's home, investigators say they found a manifesto and a detailed map of the school, including points of entry. Police believe the 28-year-old shooter also conducted surveillance before all of this. She was armed with 2 assault-style weapons and a handgun. At least 2 of the weapons were obtained legally in the Nashville area. So, as we learn more information, many are now looking to how can we prevent the next tragedy at schools. Otis Johnson is the executive director of the Johns Hopkins Center for Safe and Healthy Schools, joining us now to talk about possible solutions. Otis, good evening.
Good evening, Patrick.
So we are still waiting to hear on a motive from investigators, but ostensibly it really doesn't matter, does it? Because it all falls under the same old awful umbrella of it's happened again.
Yes, exactly that. Just 5 days ago, I believe, there was a shooting in Denver. And once again, we're faced with the tragic loss of life in Nashville. Young kids gone too soon, and in a way that I think was preventable if we had sounder and more comprehensive gun violence policy.
So let's get into the weeds on that. The president said today he is pushing harder to make it harder to get access to guns, including assault-style weapons. Polls have shown time and again that Americans, most of them, are for more moderate gun control measures, but that seems to be a non-starter in the U.S. Senate and oftentimes the House and Congress. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree, but I have to say that in 2022 we did something historic, something that hadn't happened in decades. We passed a bipartisan Safer Communities Act, which provided mental health services, but also tightened some of our loopholes in our federal gun policy. So we can do it, and I'm hoping that we're not going to stop here, because it's clear what has been tried in the past has been ineffective. We've tended to double down on SROs within schools. We've tended to increase surveillance, more cameras, and unfortunately, we see year-over-year increases in injury and death despite those measures. So it's definitely time for us to try something new.
Could you give us an example of what you consider to be a loophole in some of that legislation that's not being passed?
Well, one in particular, I think you just mentioned at the top of the conversation here about the assault rifle weapons ban that we could have. We had it in the past in 1994. And in this case, someone who is 18 years old may not be able to get a handgun, but they can get an AK-47 or an AR-15, which are military assault rifle style weapons. And of course, we can definitely secure people's Second Amendment rights to bear arms, but also do responsibly and make sure that those guns are not in the hands of people who don't deserve it.
Let's talk about the mental health aspect of this, because when you talk to mental health professionals, sometimes there's a bit of a pushback that they don't want ostensibly people who have mental health issues automatically being tied into someone who may do something very bad one day. How do we get past that together?
Right, and I definitely sympathize with the perspective here. There are many reasons why people resort to gun violence. Some is hate, some is definitely motivated by revenge or payback. Oftentimes, it's due to interpersonal disputes, and so it's not uncommon for guns, unfortunately, to be available to those individuals when, yes, mental health services may be helpful, but they're not the only thing that we know can limit these types of events from happening. Of course, starting with gun violence prevention strategies, definitely policies that make it harder for people to discharge weapons that do not belong to them, biometric fingerprint locks, biometric storage devices, among other remedies, are just woefully lacking in policy, and we need to make those mandatory in order to stop events.
Sir, we could talk about this for hours on end, but unfortunately, at this juncture, we are out of time. We thank you so much for yours. And Otis Johnson from Johns Hopkins, be well. Take care.
Thank you.